That's good. Alright, you guys ready to learn?
Yeah.
Alright, kids.
Is it recording?
Sit down, Avery.
No, I'm not going
Is it
to
recording? Go upstairs to your room if you're not going to lie.
It's going to be really boring, guys. This is about improper fishing techniques. First off, you guys pretty much know what fishing is, but fishing is the sport or business of catching fish. Every year, millions of people fish recreationally. Recreational fishing is basically what we just did, basically for the fun of it. Commercial fishing is another type of fishing. It's when like big nets and they use it to catch a vast amount of fish. And due to commercial and improper fishing, the population of North Carolina local fish has significantly decreased over the years. You can see how that kind of correlates. Netting can decrease the population if you don't really know how to fish, and it can hurt the population. Alright, kind of what I just reviewed. Commercial fishing is defined as the mass catch of fish and other seafood, then sold to the people. And commercial fishing is a multi-million-dollar industry in the U.S. alone. And it supplies various jobs around the world, about 50 million jobs. Commercial fishermen use gill nets around 300 feet to a mile long. These nets trap the heads of the fish inside the net, drowning them. The problem with these fish catch a lot of undersized fish and they end up killing them. And they can't control what they catch, so they catch a lot of bycatch, fish that weren't intended to be caught. In 1990, the North Carolina Wildlife Center set out size limits to help maintain the population of fish. The nets cannot help, basically what I just said, the nets cannot help with the catch, so any undersized fish are released. And when they are released, most of them are dead. Let's flip over. According to a study conducted by the Florida Wildlife Center, recreational fishermen are responsible for killing 25% of the overfished fish species. So the fishes that are basically gone extinct, or that are overfished and losing on population, recreational fishermen are 25% to blame to that. Basically what we were just doing, you could basically say we're to blame. It's the improper techniques used by these anglers that affect the fishing population. Alright? To help prevent that stuff, you can learn some proper fishing techniques. Alright? For the fish you're going to catch, you should use appropriate size rod and reel for what kind of fishing we're going to target. Later, we're going to go fish using appropriate rod and tackle for what we're going to catch. This will help minimize the amount of time the fish are fought and caught, so it reduces how much stress they are. Fish are really sensitive and get stressed out when they're fought too long. When fishing for a long time, the fish get really overheated, and it eventually leads to them getting exhausted and dying. So when you're releasing the fish, you gotta make sure it has enough energy to swim off. You can revive it by holding it in the water, getting water through its gills. I showed Dylan how to do that. And you should also use circle hooks or barbless hooks to prevent the fish from swallowing it and making it a whole lot easier to get big. These hooks also ensure that the hook is in the corner of the fish's mouth when caught. You'll notice that later. On larger fish, there's something known as a gaff, which is basically a big hook that the fisherman will gaff the fish and bring it on the boat. Makes it a whole lot easier to bring overboard. And if you're not planning on keeping the fish, you shouldn't gaff it. Because then gaffing normally leads to it dying. And it bleeds out. In an instance when the fish have teeth, you can use a gripping tool to help grip the fish by its mouth. And you should always support it by its underside, its stomach. Also handle fish with wet hands, because if you use wet hands to hold a fish, it will help keep the slime. The slime is what keeps the fish cool and helps keeps it balanced while swimming. And if you're fishing to keep fish, once the fish is landed, once you actually catch the fish, you should not debate if you should keep it or not. You should already know while you go out if you want to keep fish or not. It will also help to know the state size limits and regulations beforehand, so while you have a fish out, you don't have to look up the sizes and regulations. You should never keep a fish out of the water for more than 2 minutes whatsoever. When releasing the fish, if it doesn't immediately swim away, you should revive it. To revive a fish, stick it in the water and try to get water through the fish's gills by submersing the fish and moving back and forth motion in the water. This could take a minute or two, but it's a crucial step to make sure the fish is released healthy. Just learning the basics of responsible fishing will go a long way to help sustaining the fish population for future generations. Also, right on here, you gotta protect the environments, the fish's environments. Those are crucial. Those are the breeding grounds where more fish are populated. If you trash those with debris, it'll hurt the population. The Cape Fear River has an estuary, the lower Cape Fear where the ferry is. That's one of the biggest estuaries. The estuary is basically a breeding ground for all the fish. It's wildlife and helps them grow. That's pretty much that.
Yeah. We can do the phosphorus